young king, maybe. Let me see. Hold on, okay. The mask off, yes.
Yo, my man is a savage. Hey, yo, you a savage. My man got a steak and a protein shake. I mean, how much protein you need?
So with the NBA draft just recently passing, I really feel like one thing I want to do going forward with my channel is becoming more familiar with high school prospects and teams in general. There's a lot of talent in high school basketball, and it's always interesting to see how that talent translates to the next level, and that next level translates to the NBA. Now, upcoming on my channel very soon, I'm going to have a very awesome video featuring Victor Wembanyama. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. And I'm also going to be making a video on Kai Soto very soon also. There's a lot of fun content that's going to be coming to the channel. And then around this time next year, we should have some more college videos on the channel too. So it's going to be an entirely fun experience. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Coop, why did you show LeBron James working out at the start of this video? Well, my answer is very, very simple. Yes, this is a Bronny James video, but we all know LeBron James is one of the best, if not the best basketball player to ever do it. Now, that's not me saying he is. That's me saying you can make the argument that he's the best. But LeBron James didn't just become the best basketball player due to chance. If you ask anybody that knows LeBron James, yes, he is somebody that has had insane genetics and is insanely athletic. But if you ask me, I think LeBron's talent goes far beyond raw athleticism. This is somebody that has always been a student of the game, has an incredibly cerebral memory, somebody that can recall things that honestly most people would forget. And have you heard about LeBron's work ethic? This is somebody that approaches the game of basketball on a completely different level than your average player. This is somebody that not only wants to be great, they want to be the best. And sometimes things like that you simply cannot teach. I feel like all too often we see a finished product and we don't always see what goes into making that product. And I feel like sometimes that takes away from how great a player is in the public eye. Some people see LeBron and his athleticism and they're like, oh, well, yeah, it's LeBron James. He was supposed to be great. When people were telling this guy at 16, 17, 18 years old that if he was not a first ballot Hall of Famer, he was going to be a bust. And this isn't me making something up, but it sounds like I am, right? How are you telling somebody at that age, if they're not a first ballot Hall of Famer, they're going to be looked at as a bust?
It's not good enough to be good or an all-star. If you're not eventually a first-rank Hall of Famer, a lot of people will say you were a bust or overhyped.
How does that make me feel?
Yeah.
Well, I don't look at it as looking into the future. I always go by, I'll take every moment at a time because you're not promised tomorrow. And that's what my mom brought me up on, and I always say that I just try to get better every day at what I do.
Now, the reason I preface this Bronny video with everything I just said is because regardless of what he does, I feel like it's simply going to get discredited. I feel like people are going to say, oh, well, LeBron's his father. He's supposed to be that good. He's supposed to be this talented. And if you ask me, I really don't think that's fair, because at the end of the day, I feel like we all have potential. Everybody has the potential to be great, but how many people are we truly going to see reach that potential? So many times we see guys with all of the potential not reach it. Before we go any further, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. You will not want to miss another GetLikeCoop video, and that's facts. Guys, I've been playing a ton of NBA 2K21, having a ton of fun. The streams are returning next week. You guys will not want to miss a stream. I want to grow one of the biggest and best stream communities out, so it would mean a lot if you guys followed my stream. The link to the stream will be in the description below. You'll also find the link to my football channel there. Lastly, dropping a like on this video shows me that you guys enjoy the content, and it also shows YouTube that you guys are enjoying the content. Now, when it comes to Bronny James, this guy is progressing at an unreal rate. I feel like it was just a year ago we saw Bronny trying to dunk a basketball consistently, and before he could even really dunk consistently, it felt like he was going for posters, going for highlights. Bronny has always been pretty different. You look at the dunks Bronny is pulling off now, and it's like, yo, is that really the same guy from a year ago? Again, his progression rate is just unreal. How do you go from not really consistently dunking to throwing down windmills that quickly? Like I said, Bronny has always been different. And you know, now that I think about it, I think Westbrook also had one of those rapid progressions where he wasn't really dunking, and then out of nowhere, he kind of became Russell Westbrook. I think stories like that are always very interesting, and it shows you how much can change in a year or less. Now, I don't know about you guys, but Bronny strikes me as somebody that takes his health pretty seriously, especially since at the beginning of this video, they were talking about protein shakes. And the chances are, if you're talking about protein shakes, you're somebody that takes health pretty seriously, or at least you want to. Now, it's no secret that LeBron wants to play with his kids in the NBA at some point in his career. And of course, Bronny being the oldest kid, he's going to have the first shot at being able to play with or against LeBron James. Yeah, I did say against. Hey, LeBron is the ultimate competitor, right? So in order for LeBron to play with Bronny or against Bronny, there are a few things that have to happen. Bronny has to make the NBA, but before any of that necessarily happens, Bron has to be committed to playing into his late 30s. Now, LeBron has went on record saying he doesn't want to be one of those guys that's just out there. He wants to be playing basketball at a high level if he's playing basketball, which is understandable, and why a lot of times you see stars struggle to take reduced roles. When you're the guy and you've been the guy, you don't want to go to not being the guy. When Vontae Davis retired at halftime, I'm pretty sure he said something like, I hold myself to a standard. Mentally, I always expect myself to play at a high level, but physically, I knew it wasn't possible. And I had an honest moment with myself. That's some heartbreaking stuff, but I mean, that's the reality for a lot of players as they get older. Now, LeBron hasn't really shown me any signs of slowing down. I think he's going to continue to be great even into his late 30s, especially if a lot of these new Lakers can take some pressure off of LeBron James, so he doesn't have to do as much in the regular season. Now, currently, Bronny James is the 24th ranked recruit in the 2023 basketball recruiting class. That's super legit. And I know what you guys are thinking, what's going on? He's not top 10. Well, the top 10 and all that stuff, it doesn't really matter in my opinion. For reference, Trae Young was ranked like 23rd in his class, and we know how good Trae Young is. There are a lot of late recruits that outperform their ranking, and that should surprise nobody. I'm pretty sure Ja was like unranked for most of the recruiting process, if not all of it. Now, recently, Bronny and LeBron have been working out together, and they posted a few pictures from their workout session. One picture to me stood out, and that's the picture on your screen right now. Bronny looks huge compared to what he used to be, and it looks like he's gotten a good amount taller. I think there's no shot he's 6'2" anymore. Now, LeBron James is 6'8". Unless Bronny comes out and says it himself, there's no way anybody is going to tell me Bronny is 6'2" in this picture. I'm giving Bronny at least 6'4". Down in the comments below, I want to know what height you guys think he is. Now, of course, this isn't the first time we've seen a growth spurt. I'm sure everybody's heard about Anthony Davis and his growth spurt at this point, but even more recently, we remember LaMelo Ball and his growth spurt. It felt like LaMelo went from like 6'1", 6'2" to like 6'8" at the blink of an eye. Now, one of the major things for LaMelo was when he grew, he was able to maintain his fluidity and his athleticism. It seemed like he kept a pretty good center of gravity on him. A lot of guys, when they have these big growth spurts, it's like they're growing too fast for their bodies, unfortunately, and they lose a lot of their coordination. Now, I'm sure everybody has a friend or knows somebody that's tall and uncoordinated. We see it a lot. On your screen right now, you're going to see Bron is 16 and Bronny is 16. Clicking the video on the screen right now is a great way to support the channel. I'm GetLikeCoop, bringing you guys the scoop until our next upload.